Imagine this. You're 35 years old and your career is looking very promising. You're a working hard man and you're a popular guy. Success is obvious. But then you get the flu, just an ordinary flu. Or at least that's what you think. The doctor sends you to the hospital where within 1 hour you get the fast and furious diagnosis of acute leukemia. They also tell you that you might not survive the weekend. So I know, for you, this must be very hard to imagine. And even though this is a story about me, I cannot even believe that this happened to me. Now, I don't want to come up with the next cancer survivor story. There are so many people who are doing that already, and they all tell you to be brave and believe in yourself, show kindness, and live the moment. And in a way, I think we're going to experience that right now, as long as we're talking about this whole situation. Now, my story is not unique, even though I'm just one of the few who can tell about dealing with acute leukemia. It's a story that needs to be told. And, but yeah, you know that everybody needs their struggle, and you know that dealing with cancer, and especially something like acute leukemia, brings out everything in you. It's a hard and lonely struggle. But I don't think that living for yourself is heroic. In my opinion, the true heroes are the ones that carry you. I'm going to tell you something about my way of, how this changed my way of thinking. My mom, she suffered from breast cancer, and she took care of my dad, who was suffering from lung cancer. Just a year before I got sick. So there you go. They're both survivors, and I stayed there in their house in between long hospital stays. And as long as they know what I've been through, they could take care of me without words, because taking care of each other works best without words. In the morning after the diagnosis, I told my mom, this cannot be the end. I've got so much to share, and I still want to learn so much of the world. And she didn't say anything, but she just gave me comfort. And we listened to the Beatles, just like everybody else is listening to the Beatles when things are really becoming emotional. In the hospital in Amsterdam, I couldn't sleep, but only the moments when my mom entered the room, I said hi and I fell asleep. So within her arms, I felt the comfort and the peace, and I told her, for the first time in my life, 35 years, Mom, I love you, and you mean so much to me. And now I wonder why do I need a situation like this to say these important words? So, without my mother, I would not be standing here. My sister was shocked, and she felt powerless, that she couldn't take anything into action. But soon we discovered there's a slight chance of survival. After serious chemotherapy, I was supposed to have a stem cell transplantation. Now, there is a 25% chance that somebody in the family can donate their stem cells. And of course, you know, my sister saved my life. I was reborn on the 19th of April 2012. And by that time, my blood type changed from AB positive into B positive. B positive. Now, doesn't that sound great? B positive. And to be honest, I'm tired with positivity. Because within 1 year after the transplantation, my sister's cells were fighting against my body. My muscles, my intestines, and the skin, they stick together like glue. I couldn't move. They call it graft versus host disease. So back to the doctor, and he said, well, you have to take a large doses every day of prednisone. And I thought, oh, here we're gonna go again. I had that stuff before. And at first, it seems like, wow, I'm full of energy, but taking heavy doses of prednisone for over a year, that means constant stress. You're awake all day long. You don't have any sleep. Your face grows like a full moon, and you have a beer belly. You know, by that time I was not drinking beer, so that was not... The only benefit of taking prednisone is that our house was nice and tidy because I had all the energy to put in. So, back to the doctor. Doc says, I'm fine if you don't take it, but then you end up in a wheelchair and you die soon. So, what would you do? Take the pills or take the pills? You see, my sister cells were working very hard. They were doing a great job. And you see, without my sister, I would not be standing here. My girlfriend at the time, Rosie, she was always there for me. And without her, when I had the flu, without her, she called me, she called the doctor, and without that little phone call, I would have been dead already. And the morning after the diagnosis, I told her, Rosie, what do you do with a sick man like me? If you want, you're free to go. You should find your happiness with a healthy man. But for her, that was an insult. She said, I just want to stay with you. I need to take care of you. So caring was her, she felt it was her responsibility. So what Rosie did for me was cleaning all the puke. I love to puke. It some kind of became a hobby for me. So the doctor had to say to me, now you should stop puking. Okay, well, we'll stop. But she was always there to clean. She was there when I was knocked down, and she was dealing with the nurses and the doctors. She was dealing, waiting for me, staying with me when I was hallucinating night after night after night. So, yeah, you can imagine without her I would easily give up. And by doing this, Rosie showed me that things aren't what they seem to be. Things are not what they seem to be at first sight. And she told me that you should get everything out that's hidden in there. When somebody's telling you how things really are, even if they're a doctor or a Buddhist monk, Just don't buy it. It's you who should decide what it really is. So, what should I do? Take the situations I'm in? Should I stay on the sofa, find peace over there, and watch Netflix all day? I know people who watch Netflix all day and they tell me, I've seen everything on Netflix. Now, that's really sick. So, as long as you're not knocking on death's door, you should get out everything that's in there. So, it's no wonder that after these years, I'm married to Rosie right now. And without her, I would not be standing here. So, how do you feel when you listen to these stories? Is fighting leukemia the result of an individual battle? I just wanted to tell you that our lives do not depend on our own actions or choices. Even without you, I would not be standing here. And some things just happen to you, and that's why you need caring mothers, matching sisters, and fighting lovers. Because they understand that sharing is taking the responsibility to care of people in need. Thank you.